Welcome to Biology with Deepika, and in this video we will be learning about general characteristic of algae, its habitat and the thallus organization in algae. So stay tuned till the end of the video to know lot many takeaways and learn more about exam tips in this chapter. So let's start. The term algae was given by Linnaeus. The study of algae is known as phycology. In Liker in 1836 for the first time included algae, fungi and lichen in Thallophyta. The algae are chlorophyll-bearing non-vascular thallophytes and non-archegoniate. These algae are chlorophyll bearing. They bear chlorophyll and they are non-vascular thallophytes. That means the vascular system is not introduced in algae, and they are non-vascular thallophytes and they are non-archegoniate. They are known as thallophytes because here the plant body is without the differentiation into true root, stem and leaves. The sporangia are mostly unicellular and the reproductive organs are mostly unicellular, and if multicellular they lack a sterile envelope. Then M.O.P. Iyengar is known as father of modern Indian algology. Father of phycology, Fritz wrote the book Structure and Reproduction of Algae. Algae are mostly chlorophyll containing photoautotrophic thalloid plant. Chlorophyll A and beta carotene are universal pigment of algae. Cell walls are made up of cellulose and pectin. This is very important in point of view of exams. The cell wall of algae is made up of cellulose and pectin. The plant body doesn't show tissue differentiation. They have mostly unicellular sex organ, but if multicellular sex organ is present, they lack a sterile envelope. Embryo formation doesn't take place after sexual reproduction. They show alternation of generation. The algae has great importance as primary producers. They form basis of food cycle for aquatic plants. Then we will talk about habitat in algae. There are different habitats. The algae is found in different places where they live. So let's study in detail. The first one is freshwater algae. The freshwater can be stagnant water. For example, we can give Spirogyra and Chara, the stonewort, commonly known as stonewort. They are found in stagnant water. In running water, we can find Eulothrix. In epipelic and epipelic algae are those which are attached to mud or sand at the bottom of water. For example, Chara and Nightella. These examples are important in point of view of exams. Direct questions come in with these examples. Then seawater algae are Fucus and Ectocarpus, with the algae which are found in sea. Then epiphytic algae, the algae which are found on plants. Epi means which are found on plants, endo means which are found inside the plant. So epiphytic means, and phytic means, epi means which are found up on the plants, and phytic means plant, so found on the plants. For example, bulbocate and oidogonium. Endophytic algae, these are the algae which are found inside the plants. Endo means inside and phytic means plants. So endophytic, the algae which are found inside the plants are known as endophytic algae. And for example, we can see Anabaena found inside coralloid roots of cycas. It is a gymnosperm. And Nostoc found in Anthoceras. It is a bryophyte. The next type is epizoic. Epi means found on and zoic means plants, animals. So epizoic means found on animals. For example, Cladophora found on molluscan cells. The next type is endozoic. Endo means found inside and zoic means animals. So endozoic algae are those which are found inside the animals. For example, Zoochlorella in Hydra, Cyanil, it is a type of blue-green algae found in protozoans. These two examples are important. Parasitic algae, the algae which obtain food from living plants. For example, Cephalourus on leaves of tea and coffee. Rhodochytrium is parasitic on mango. The Cephalourus found on leaves of tea and coffee is very important in point of view of exams. This example is very important. Then cryophytic algae, the algae found at low temperatures. For example, Chlamydomonas. This is responsible for red snow in the Arctic region. And Haematococcus is another example. This Chlamydomonas responsible for red snow is important. Others are all examples are important, but this which I am telling important usually come in the exams. Thermal algae found at hot temperature between 70 to 75 degrees Celsius. Scytonema oscillatoria up to 85 degrees Celsius. Oscillatoria can be found up to 85 degrees Celsius heat and hot temperature, and Scytonema is also found. So algae found at hot temperature are known as thermal algae. The terrestrial algae, the algae found in moist soil, are known as terrestrial algae. For example, Vockeria and nostoc. So this is all about habitat in algae. Next we will move on to the thallus organization in algae. The thallus organization in algae is divided into two types. First one is unicellular and the second one is multicellular. The unicellular is the thallus consists of a single cell, and the multicellular is the thallus which is made up of many cells forming either colonies or filaments, which we will see in details. The first type is unicellular type of thallus organization. This can be divided into two. The first one is motile, which possess flagella and capable of movement. As these are motile, obviously they might be having some features which help them in movement. So they have flagella and they are capable of movement. For example, Chlamydomonas. The non-motile, they cannot move, so they lack flagella. For example, chlorella. Chlorella has been used in space research for oxygen and as space food. This is a very important algae. It is very necessary in space science and all. There are two type. These are the two type of unicellular type of thallus organization in algae: the motile and the non-motile type. Here we can see in this picture. Here Chlamydomonas have a flagella, it is motile, and here Chlorella don't have a flagella, so it is non-motile. Then we will come to the multicellular thallus organization in algae. It is of different type. First one is colonial. When many cells grow together, they form a colony. They can be of two types: motile. When they have flagella, they are motile, and they have a definite number of cells, and this term is called as synovium. When the thallus have a definite number of cells, they are called synovium. For example, volvox. When they lack flagella, they are non-motile and they do not have a definite number of cells and they are called coccoid. For example, in Hydrodictyon, we can see this in picture. Volvox here, they have flagella, and these are found in colonies, and these are also found in colonies. They lack found in colonies in Hydrodictyon and they lack flagella and they are non-motile. So the next type we will move on to filamentous type multicellular thallus organization. Filamentous type. Here thallus is thread-like, may be unbranched, for example in Ulothrix and Spirogyra, or they may be branched in Cladophora. Here we will see filamentous type in Spirogyra, and it is unbranched and it is branched in Cladophora. Then heterotrichous type. When the plant body consists of two systems, one prostrate that helps in attachment and the other one erect, which is green, so photosynthetic. So these are heterotrichous. The plant body consists of two systems. That's why it is known as hetero. heterotrichous. One is prostrate and another is erect. For example, Fritzella is a good example of it. This is important, very important. The next type is Siphonoceous. Here the thalli is aseptate. That means the septa formation is absent, which means the thallus is not divided by a particular line known as septa. So nuclei remain scattered throughout the tubular thallus. For example, we can see in Vaccaria here. As there is no septa formation, in septa formation there is always division like this. But here, as there is no septa formation, this is a septate in Vaccaria, so the nucleus is found scattered throughout the thallus. It is siphonoceous, and it is a good example is Vaccaria. The next one is pseudoparenchymatous. In this type, the thallus is repeatedly branched and branches are found in close aggregation. They may be monoaxial in Batrachospermum or polyaxial in Polysiphonia. Here we can see the Batrachosperma. It is pseudoparenchymatous in this picture. Then is parenchymatous. The thallus shows extensive cell division and elaborate internal differentiation. Parenchymatous type we can see in Macrocystis. The largest algae is known as Macrocystis, and Laminaria, it is a brown algae. The thallus has extensive cell division and have elaborate internal differentiation. This is parenchymatous type. Then palm-like thallus organization is found in Postelia. It is known as sea palm. Then foliaceous, it is like sea lettuce. It looks like sea lettuce. The example is Alba. So all these are the thallus organization in algae in details. The next is a few takeaways from this video. The Caulerpa is the largest unicellular organism and it has a length up to 4 meters. Macrocystis is the largest brown algae. Micromonas is the smallest green algae. Noctiluca is the luminous algae. It has light emitting characters. Hydrodictyon, commonly known as water net, each cell has each cell has reticulate chloroplast. The term water net is given to hydrodictyon. These algae are very important in terms of exams. So this is all about my all this video is all about algae, its habitat, the thallus organization in details. Thank you for watching my video and do like, share and comment and please subscribe for my upcoming videos. Thank you so much.